Siamo qua con Matthew Modine, intanto è veramente un onore essere qua con lei.
No, I don't
It's really
shake
an
hands.
honor.
I'm like Donald Trump. No, come on.
Okay. Thank you very much, it's really an honor to be here and to talk with you. Intanto inizierei con qualche domanda. Tu sei una persona molto gentile, sei stato molto gentile con noi
Thank you.
e ci hai mostrato la mail con la quale ti hanno presentato il progetto Stranger Things, ieri infatti, che all'inizio portava il nome di Montauk. Che cosa hai pensato allora di questo Montauk e cosa pensi adesso di Stranger Things?
That was a big question.
Yeah, you sent the email about Stranger Things that once was called Montauk, and what did you think once when you received the email, and what do you think now about Stranger Things, about the project?
Well, the Duffer Brothers, when they created the show, you know, they're young filmmakers and they have to make a presentation in order to get financiers interested in their project. So I don't know if they do this in Europe, if they do it in Italy, but you create what's called a look book. So you give those non-creative people an opportunity to have an idea what the show looks like. So they created a book called Montauk because there were experiments that were done in Long Island, at the end of Long Island in New York, called Montauk. And there were real scientific experiments done on people. And so that was the inspiration for Stranger Things. And when I received the book, I wasn't impressed because it was pictures from other people's films. So it doesn't tell me as an artist about the artist that wants to work with me. All it demonstrated was that they knew how to take images from somebody else's material and reproduce them. So, but I understand how it works, you know, that you have to make a presentation because you're trying to excite people that are, as I say, non-creative people, financial people that want to have some kind of insurance that the money that they're going to invest in a project has a possibility of a return. So I get it, but it's also frustrating as an artist because, like, if you said, Matthew, I want you to be in this movie, but I want you to act like Marlon Brando, I want you to act like Robert De Niro, my response would be, then you should hire Marlon Brando or you should hire Robert De Niro because I'm not Marlon Brando or Robert De Niro. The mistake that an actor would make is trying to act like Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro is genius and brilliant because he's not trying to act like Marlon Brando. He's not trying to act like Jack Nicholson. He's Robert De Niro. So the idea of making a lookbook is kind of counterintuitive to the artistic process. Otherwise, we just have people repeating. You know, there's no creativity. There's no birth of a new idea. It's just a regurgitation of something that's been created before, and I'm not interested in that. You know, that the one thing in the universe that we can be sure of is that tomorrow, each of us in this room will be a little bit different. The cells in our body will be older. We'll be one step closer to the inevitable. That everything in the universe is constantly changing. So why shouldn't the art form? Why shouldn't, I mean, we used to use film when we would do interviews like this. It was and now we use a digital camera. The lenses haven't really changed, but the technology of capturing information and storing information is different. And in 2 years' time, this may become something that's archaic, and we'll be living in a world that's three-dimensional. You know, 4D, you know, that everything. So that's what we want to embrace is the evolution of art and the creativity, you know.
Thank you very much. Una prossima domanda è sul ruolo in questa serie. Ma questo dottor Martin Butler è davvero un padre cattivo quanto sembra?
Is your character really a bad father as it seems or not?
Well, you know, one thing that an artist should never do is explain or define that this is the fun. Why you ask that question is because you want an answer, and what's fun for me is to frustrate you and make you wonder. But this is what I will say is, did Dr. Brenner ever physically harm 11? Did he ever speak violently to her? You know, did he ever strike her? Did he ever, you know, force her to do anything? And I think the answer is no. Did you ever see Dr. Brenner kill anyone? I don't think so. Did he break anybody's arms? I don't think so. And so we think that Dr. Brenner is evil, bad person. But on the other hand, if you say 11, how many people has 11 killed? How many arms has 11 broken? Is it possible that 11, the reason that Dr. Brenner is so anxious about her having escaped is because he knows the real danger of her being in the real world, and what happens if she gets in the hands of somebody who's truly evil? That's what's interesting to me. You know, she's dangerous. Yeah.
True.
She's like a nuclear bomb.
Yeah. Abbiamo sentito parlare qualcuno all'interno del festival e forse è uscito fuori che questo dottor Brenner potrebbe tornare. È possibile questa cosa?
There are some rumors about Dr. Brennan coming back. Is it true or is it not true?
Non lo so. Yeah.
No, tornando invece più indietro nella tua carriera, hai
Go
scritto,
back in your career.
hai
Ok.
scritto un libro sull'esperienza che hai vissuto sul set di uno dei tuoi più grandi lavori, e dal titolo Full Metal Jacket Diary. Questo diario è stato ispirato dal fatto che Joker fosse un giornalista di guerra ed è stato quindi un modo utile per avvicinarti al personaggio.
It's said about your book, Full Metal Jacket Diary. Did you write it because Joker was a war journalist, or it is another approach to the story?
Well, my grandmother, she told me to keep a diary. That it's a good thing, especially for young people, because sometimes our thoughts are too much. They're overwhelming. You know, and so if you can take the thoughts and put them on paper, it's a way of taking them out of your body and understanding them, getting rid of them because they're painful and you want to take them out of your body, and also an opportunity for you to be able to reflect. To reflect on your thoughts. And so I kept a diary. I don't keep a diary so much today because as we get older, we're less and less interested in what we're thinking. You know, that we really understand that the past is the past and the future is something that's unknown, and that all that really exists is this moment, now, here with you in this moment. And in a moment, this will be gone. You know, so we don't get to experience this again. This is all that really is. And so I kept a diary at that time in my life. And then because I was playing a journalist, I thought I'll keep a diary on the set because I'm playing a journalist. And when I hear conversations, I'll write the things down. And a friend of mine gave me a camera, a medium format Rolleiflex camera that you know, it looks like all the old Italian paparazzi cameras, you know, and it's a beautiful camera. And my friend gave it to me because he said Kubrick had a photographic background. He took pictures before he made films. He said this could be a great way to break the ice, is an expression we use in English, to become friends with someone if I knew how to use this camera. And so I taught myself how to use the camera and brought it to the set, and I had it around my neck, and I was always kind of showing it to Kubrick, like, look, I have a Rolleiflex. And one day he said, what are you doing with that old piece of shit camera? And I said, what, piece of shit? No, this is a Rolleiflex. He goes, I know what the camera is. He said, listen, if you're going to take pictures on my set, this is the camera you should get. And he told me to get this Minolta autofocus, and he told me each lens to buy, even the camera bag, the whole package of. But the important part of what he said, and I heard, was that if you're going to take pictures on my set, which was unheard of, to bring a camera onto Kubrick film set and to capture images. So he gave me permission to photograph on his set. So I had the camera and I took pictures, and it was amazing. And I had all these prints, and I gave prints to Stanley Kubrick, and he gave me thumbs up that he said I was a good photographer. My exposures were good, my composition was good, and I always wanted to do something with the photographs after the film was made. And I finally found a book publisher, and he loved the photographs, and he said, okay, good. You're going to have to tell a story about the photographs. And I said, I kept a diary while I was making the film. And he said, how would you feel about transcribing the diary? And I said, okay. And as I was transcribing the diary, I realized it was an incredible document of an artist as a young man working with arguably one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. And it was a great, when you peek through the curtains, to see what it was to work with Stanley Kubrick. It was a great insight into working with Kubrick. And so...
So thank you very much. It's
You're
really
welcome.
been a pleasure to
My
this interview.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I hope I passed the audition.
You were great.
Okay, good.
We will let you know.
Okay, well, let me know.